Star Wars: The Last Jedi! Hidden secrets. Find them, you must.
You look more like a monk than a Jedi.
Can you not just let me have my moment?
Well, can you just act more like a normal human?
Comment where these 5 Easter eggs are hidden and include hashtag Star Wars in your comment for your chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card.
In a YouTube video long ago, you asked for me to talk about everything you missed in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. The Force is strong with you, young Padawan, and today you will fulfill your destiny. Here's everything you missed in Disney's Lucasfilm's Star Wars: Jedi: The Last. Warning, timeout, spoiler alert. Oh, Star Wars, we start off in our favorite scenario we like to find ourselves in with the Star Wars franchise. That's right, a good old-fashioned space fight. That's not all that we get to see here, though.
Attention! This is Commander Poe Dameron of the Republic Fleet. I have an urgent communique for General Hux.
This opening scene with Poe Dameron and General Hux is actually a nod to a classic comedy, Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Hello!
Hello? Who is it?
This is General Hux of the First Order.
Go and tell your master that we have been charged by God with a sacred quest.
Your fleet are rebel scum and war criminals. Tell your precious princess there will be no terms. There will be no surrender.
What a strange person.
Look, I can't hold forever. If you reach him, tell him Leia has an urgent
Message for him.
I believe he's tooling with you, sir.
about his mother.
I fart in your general direction.
The Dreadnought itself was also a play on old submarine movies like Hunt for Red October. That's why inside the control room we see red lights and a periscope. Someone please tell me why you need a periscope in a spaceship in space? Fun fact, when Snoke donned Cena's this guide to the ground, a stuntman actually fell for the scene and he broke his nose. We get to learn that Snoke is responsible for connecting Rey and Kylo for his evil little plot.
It was I who breached your minds.
But they killed him, right? But then after Snoke is already dead, they have another moment where they connect the Force together. Obviously she's on the ship and he's in the base, but they see each other. So who's bridging them together now if Snoke's dead? Do you think Rey's learning the Force so fast that now she can do this awesome cool trick, even though she didn't even get real training from Luke, ever? While we're on the island, if you look under the water, that's Luke's X-Wing, probably how he made it to the island in the first place. If you watched the original Star Wars, you may have thought that Luke was going to be teaching Rey how to use the Force to lift the cool X-Wing out of the water, just like how Yoda taught Luke back in The Empire Strikes Back. Turns out though, that was just a diversionary tactic, so we can't predict what would happen in the future.
Its energy surrounds us.
I feel something.
You feel it?
Yes, I feel it.
That's the Force.
Really?
Wow, it must be really strong
Oh,
with
I've
you.
never felt any... Ow!
However, the door to Luke's hut is made out of an X-Wing, so it's possible that X-Wing can't even fly. Any Star Wars geek will probably admit that they had a crush on Princess Leia at one point in their life. Carrie Fisher, who plays Princess Leia, has a daughter in real life, and Lieutenant Connix is that daughter. That's why she has the Princess Bunhead theme going on here. That's playing tribute to one of Princess Leia's most iconic costumes. Another fun fact about Princess Leia is when R2-D2 decides to show old footage of Princess Leia to convince Luke to help, that's actually the original footage from the very first Star Wars ever made, A New Hope. Obviously, Leia was upset about losing the bombing fleet, but that's not what she's upset about here. In reality, she was actually having a Force moment with Luke about Hans, their loss. Not this Hans, this Hans. This Hans can die. No one cares. But unfortunately, that scene got cut, and this is what you saw. But this is what they originally were going to show you. It may seem odd though, because Leia is a tough girl who likes putting up a fight.
Into the garbage, you flyboy!
So why did she hate the idea that he took a risk to take out a Dreadnought? Because they needed to jump to light speed, and they couldn't until Poe Dumb finally got back to the ship. So the fact that the enemy almost shot the mega cannons at the main ship and ended the entire rebellion right there and then, that could be a reason why she's a little bit upset. So obviously Ding Dong here didn't risk his own life and the bombing crew's life, he actually risked the entire rebellion's life.
Shut up!
So what's the big deal about these gold dice we keep seeing everywhere, right? Luke seemed like he couldn't care less and he didn't want to help the rebellion because that makes sense to Luke's character. But nonetheless, when he saw the dice, he got lost in his mind and he's all like, maybe I should help. That's because he was thinking about his good old friend Han Solo. Those were Han's dice, and this used to be Han's ship. Apparently, we will get to see Hans win the Falcon against his friend Lando. Fun little fact, the hand that pulled the dice down was actually Rian Johnson, the director of Last Jedi, and not Luke Skywalker's hand. And this dude that gets blown up is the associate producer, Jamie Christopher. Today's survey time is this. Do you think it makes sense in the movie that Luke Skywalker decided it was time to die after having a virtual fight with Kylo Ren? Yes, no, maybe so, or you didn't even see the movie. Being Disney owns Star Wars now, some people think we would see a Mickey version of Darth Vader. And it seems that's not the case, even though some people would argue it is. But they did hide a hidden Mickey in a deleted scene right here. If you look, the light is arranged for a Mickey face head thing. If you notice in the grand finale battle, these are not the traditional AT-ATs that we're used to seeing. By the way, AT-AT stands for All-Terrain Armored Transport. These Guerrilla Walkers, or AT-M6, are a more improved, upgraded version of the AT-AT. If you remember in Empire Strikes Back, snowspeeders could easily destroy the AT-ATs with a well-placed cable. Now these new and improved walkers are reinforced in the front legs with armor and razor-sharp spikes on them so they can't simply be tripped anymore with a cable. That sucker right there will just snap it. When Luke Skywalker has his epic lightsaber battle with Kylo Ren, we find out at the end he wasn't actually there. But he was using the Force to appear to be there. But if you go back and watch closely to the scene, you will see they left several clues to show us Luke wasn't actually there. If getting blasted over 100 times from Guerrilla Walkers wasn't a big enough hint, remember, Jedis can be killed. Hint number 2. After the explosion from all the blasters, the salt is blown off the ground, showing just a hard ruby surface. And as they fight, more and more salt falls slowly, covering the ground again. No salt falls on Luke and sticks to him, even though it falls on Kylo and sticks to him. Hint number 3. Also watch Kylo's foot. When it moves, you can see it moves the salt too. But when Luke moves his foot, no salt moves. He's a ghost! When Kylo finally storms the abandoned base to find the rebellion and kill them all, listen to the music. It's the same music that was being played when Anakin stormed the temple to kill the Jedi in training in episode 3. And I gotta say, good job to Rey for figuring out how to lift all those big heavy rocks. But here's a question. Why didn't Leia just do it? For those of you that don't know, Luke is the son of Darth Vader, which is why he is so connected to the Force.
I am your father.
But so is Princess Leia. Why? Because her and Luke are siblings. In fact, not only are they siblings, they are twinsies.
We're like twins.
So Leia Organa could have clearly moved those rocks without even trying. And why in this universe or the next does Rey feel like she has to translate what Chewie is saying to Luke?
He said you're coming back with us.
I think it's safe to say that he knows what the Wookiee is saying. Bless your heart. Speaking of powerhouses, here's a play on Jurassic Park, with the old T-Rex stomping on the ground, making the water vibrations. But clearly these beasts have more stomping power. Another powerhouse from Jurassic Park you probably recognize is Vice Admiral Holdo. She's played by Laura Dern, who also played as Dr. Sattler in Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs eat man. Woman inherits the earth.
One Easter egg that I was shocked to see in Star Wars is a reference to a movie that was making fun of Star Wars. I bet the first time you saw this scene you were like me and you thought, wait, what the heck? That looks like an iron. Then it turns out it was an iron. Well, back in the oldie days, like in the 70s, yes, they had televisions back in the 70s. A movie came out poking fun at Star Wars and it was called Hardware Wars. In this movie, the Millennium Falcon was, you guessed it, an iron. Another movie reference though is in the battle between Captain Phasma and Finn. When Finn rides the elevator back up and then he says,
Hey.
That's a reference to this scene in Back to the Future 2.
Nice shot, Doc!
This guy, General Emmett, is played by Andrew Jack, who is basically a voice coach for a lot of the actors like Daisy, and even a few of the aliens. How in the heck do you teach an alien how to talk? If I showed you something in Star Wars The Last Jedi that you didn't know before, let me know with that big thumb of yours. Also, let me know what movie you want to talk about next, and subscribe so you don't miss our next adventure. And remember, most importantly of all, gents and gentlets, share a smile. They are contagious. And remember, it's not over until the... Okay, it's over.
Hey, share a smile. They're contagious. Can you imagine a day without smiling? Whew, that would be outrageous. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with Crazy Nate. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if he left you feeling great. Have fun and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe.
See you around.